Moment of truth. I still got my streak.
The fuck?
Ah, I lost it. I lost my streak, damn.
I think you can actually go back into the vault and save your streak that way.
Ah, it's not that important.
I know. I'm just saying.
Well, it's like at 30 or something. I was a bit sad about it, but.
You guys watch anime?
You're watching?
Zero does, I think.
Yeah, I do.
I don't watch any anything except for YouTube. True crime basically, only. But that's just because I get too sucked in. So
That's called doom scrolling.
what?
If you get too sucked in, then you're doom scrolling.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's too much for me. I already have World of Warcraft now. I can't use any like. That's too much.
I mean, I'm usually watching YouTube while I'm playing World of Warcraft, so...
Yeah, same. But YouTube is not sucking me in like movies and series and stuff. Like
Yeah, but anime is like... That's like a 15-minute, 20-minute episode, right?
yeah, but then I get too involved in the world of that anime. That's why
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't like it. I get too distanced from reality. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm playing WoW to get distance from reality.
Yeah, I was about to say. As he
but
plays the
that's
fantasy
not
MMO.
as bad. For me, it's not as bad.
I've been watching some weirdo anime. It's...
I saw some weird yesterday on as well.
I don't even know how to... It's not the isekai genre, but it's like a derivative of the isekai genre. Where it's like, he's not like a reincarnation or anything, but he's like completely different from everyone else in the world.
Which one is it? What's the title?
Huh?
What's the title?
Meshal, Magic and Muscles.
Ah, yeah. I see.
Yeah, it's about a dude that's born into
Yeah,
a
the one
magic
with-
world, but he has like not a lick of magic. But he's like super fucking strong. So his magic is his physical ability, basically. It's hilarious.
Pretty much Black Clover in another jacket.
Oh my god,
yeah,
it's
but
just
look,
like me.
Black Clover is annoying. Like, the guy yells all the time. Like, it drives me
Yeah,
nuts, man.
Do you guys know the game Clover Pit?
No? Don't think
It's
so?
like a gamble game,
Oh,
but it's
yeah, I
like
do
a
know it.
roguelike gamble game.
Yeah. It's like Balatro.
Yeah, but with a
There you
what
go.
is it? Machine? Coin
Slot-
machine?
Slot machines,
Slot
yeah.
machine, slot machine,
You
yeah.
come down here, okay.
Slots.
Into the dirty dungeon. What the? That's so
Yay, slots.
Actually, still no idea who the tank is. It's not a druid, he's in cat form, so that's pretty clear. But is it the warrior or the paladin? It's not a shaman.
Let's hope it's the paladin.
I know I don't see much much gold stuff on the floor, so I think it's the warrior, to be honest. Well, I'll see it, but in boss fights
Well,
I'll know for sure.
Inspect him, and if he has a lot of leather gear, I hope for you it's not the tank.
No, but if the paladin was a tank, he would surely use consecration. Of course, now he's using it.
Just to prove your point.
Yeah. But normally, if a paladin is the tank, it's constantly active. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the case in here. It's like,
What do you say is the rate of good pack groups you had in dungeon? Where you were like, okay, they're all decent, they don't do big mistakes.
50-50?
70% are pretty decent players.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I think most of them went better than the ones. So it's certainly not 50-50. I would say 70-75% good and then 25% bad. Like 1 in 4, maybe 1 in 5 even.
Damn, you have a low
But as a priest, as a healer, you've got much in hand, so as DPS it's different because then you've got two factors. You've got a tank and you've got a healer. So if your tank is
That's
not
true.
good, you're fucked. If your healer is not good, you're fucked. But
That's true.
as a healer you can control a lot.
I mean, but as a healer, you're also dependent on DPS, because if the DPS rips threat from the tank all the time, it's also annoying.
Yeah, but if you're good enough, you can heal them, and if they rip off the threat, then usually their damage is good enough to spend more mana expensive spells and save the fight.
Yeah.
While I have more problems with bad gear DPS that doesn't do enough DPS. If the tank can hold them, but the damage wise it's going way too slow, then I'm home by a certain moment. So
Bro, so many people literally just don't know how to play their class. Like, I look at the damage and I see like what they're doing, what abilities they use to do damage. So many people, it's like 2 abilities they use. Like, brother.
I feel targeted.
Okay, not you, maybe. I don't know about red paladins, but like sometimes like mages. I mean, I guess if you're frost mage, you don't. You only plus frostbolt. But I don't know.
yes, my sound was a little bit too hard. Sorry.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay. I just thought about it. It's actually kinda.
Oh my
Kinda.
god, 3 gold for 1 true silver ore. I'll mine that. Jesus.
If you got the level to mine it.
Well, yeah, because otherwise I wouldn't have to buy it either, right?
Oh, you've got those people that do fashions without the mining. And really buy everything they need.
I know, but mining and smelting is the same thing. So if I can smelt it, then I can mine it.
Okay.
It's the same profession.
Okay. Yeah, I never did mining and smithing.
Well, the miner smelts into bars and the blacksmith uses the bars. Oh, I
You
didn't
should have
pick
the
up-
melting with both actually.
Huh?
You should get the melting with both fashions, I think, but that's just,
Why?
yeah, that's just how I feel. I feel like if you're a blacksmith, you know how to smell bars, you know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's just a little bit more realistic to me.
Yeah, but
It's
then
like
I understand why they
miner-
put it in
a
mining.
miner-
Otherwise, you just mine and you don't do anything else, right?
yeah, it's the same as urbanism.
Well, but with urban,
You
yeah,
just
I
pick
was
fla-
just
yeah,
about to
you
say.
just pick flowers. That's it. I mean, so that would have been the big issue, I think, personally.
I love alchemy, but I hate herbalism.
But I think it's a lot more logic that the blacksmith knows how to smelt and the miner wouldn't.
I mean, in real life, that's
But that's
certainly true.
Yeah, yeah.
Although in real life, that's metallurgy, right? That's basically a separate. That would be a different thing.
Yeah, we should have 3 professions. We one
Yeah,
is
mining,
smelting,
metallurgy,
one
and
is
then
mining.
blacksmith. I did 50
some
metal bars,
professions,
no
yeah.
skill points. I need one more skill
think-
point.
I think some professions are just way more OP than others. Like alchemy, for example, you can transmutate, you can make your pots, you can make your elixirs or your flasks.
Yeah, but you need the fucking Black Lotus. Or I don't know what you need in TBC. Probably something different.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I think it sounds a little bit more overpowered than just like, yeah, you can make a little bit of gear and that's it. Yeah.
I mean, tailoring, I think, is. At least with TBC, there's a lot of stuff that you can't buy. You have to be tailoring max level to use the
Why, I
stuff
can
that you're doing.
Yeah, okay, it's true. You have to, yeah, you have some bind on pickup items that you can craft. You mean?
Yeah, they are the most overpowered gear that you can have.
Bro, this
So
is
you
getting
almost-
ridiculous.
Or
60
to
bars,
be
no
better.
skill point. I need one more skill point. I'm at 229. I need to get to
Green?
230.
Did it gray?
Ah.
is good?
No,
I had
it's
the same
green
with
still.
cooking,
Yeah.
dude. I had the same with cooking.
50
Like, I was-
bars.
374, making this this serpent meat that gives 23 spell damage,
Yeah.
and then I did 28 more. Nothing.
You still
Not
have
one
some of those? Plus spell
No,
damage?
I gave them to Lindsay, but I put some fish on the gill bank. That's 23 spell damage as well.
Oh, nice.
So check the second tab on guild bank.
Wait, you want spell damage? I have like a bunch of potions for you then.
No, I have 20 adept elixir.
Oh, okay.
If you mean those.
Yeah.
They're so cheap on the auctions. I just buy them every time when I run out. It's like 10 gold for 20 elixirs, and they speed up your leveling, and it's super worth it.
Actually, a pretty easy dungeon that escaped from Downhold. Thing.
Yeah, I want to do some of these. I only have done all the low-level dungeons. Now I'm 70, I can do maybe a couple more.
Alcatraz and stuff.
Yes, sir. But don't you need a key for that or something?
I think for Alcatraz you do, but not for Botanica and Mechaner. But you need a flying mount for those, because otherwise you don't reach them. So the people that reach 70 also
That's
have
not
to
the
buy the
problem.
mount. Yeah, they still have to buy them first. So
I already have the mount. I just need the
Yeah.
riding skill.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're all boosted, so most of them don't need to... Wait, but don't you get the riding skill from
No.
boost? No?
yeah,
No,
maybe
you
it's
wish, bro.
No, I don't wish. I wish they don't. So-
No, you gotta buy that.
I don't know. I know I got the mounts is separate over accounts, so you can share them over multiple characters. So I've got the mounts, but riding skill, that's something my druid should have done. I don't know.
You can
didn't
share
even
the
check it.
mount of different characters?
Yeah, I took the mount and the hearthstones from my in with Sedira.
Oh, they're
And I
not
didn't boost
sold
her.
out?
No, the
No.
mines are soulbound, but if you bought the pack, you get one on each character. Just go talk to the inn in your main capital.
Oh,
Dude! Fucking 80 bars, still nothing. Oh my god.
Sounds so familiar.
What is it you wish? Ah, friend. What is it you wish? Very well then. Let's go.
We can hear your game.
Sorry.
you don't have headphones?
Put my game on my box, and I think that's a little bit. You're on the headphone, so.
Oh.
Otherwise, you would hear yourself.
Yeah.
But I turned down the sound a bit. I hope it's better now.
I mean, I don't mind it either way. You have to fucking listen to my keyboard, so that's way worse probably.
What?
Bro, is this shit bugged? What the fuck? It doesn't want to give me the last point, man.
Just do something that's yellow, bro.
I don't have anything that's yellow.
Then train something that's yellow.
It's mining. What the hell am I supposed to train?
I've never done mining. I have no idea. I just know with tailoring, there's never anything that you can't do that's like, I don't know, not yellow.
Yeah, I literally can't do anything until I get to 230. I have to do mithril until 230. There's no other option.
That's pretty sad.
Or you could go mining, but yeah, I think those things are pretty contested.
I couldn't even find any tin, bro. It's ridiculous. And I was like
Doesn't-
doing it in the middle of the night, right? At like 4 in the morning.
You know, the Zygo that Lynn gave us,
It's not
that
Zygor.
you can put. Yeah, but the Zygo one gives you a route to run, and it went okay, but I was talking low level, of course.
Sounds like tailoring is way easier than
But
mining.
herbalism and mining, I think those are fashions you want to do when you're 17. You've got the flying mount, or if you're a druid on 16.
But I got the
you can
slow
fly.
flying mount, so it's not even faster than.
No, but you can do your route and you fly around, and it's okay. You will find eventually. You'll find something. It's like it's boring, but if you watch YouTube on the other videos, like PGL constantly does, it's not. It's okay to do.
I did it on hardcore. Well, not with flying mount, but with the fast mount. That was pretty okay. Good gold at least. I spent so much time in Fellwood.
I've made 340 mithril bars, and I still don't have that last point.
Bro, there's something bugged though. There's no way. Like, do something else.
Raw, you didn't really think you would escape, did you?
Right, I guess.
What?
No? Yeah, you didn't hear my sound? Okay, good. I guess when they start speaking in game, it's like...
Oh, wait,
Discord
we can hear
knows
that.
the
Yeah.
voice.
When they speak in game, we can hear it.
It's because Discord really recognizes that as a voice, and the rest he knows how to cancel out.
Off with you.
No mate, I have to do this again.
How are you? Safe.
Oh, let's see if this is soloable. Oh fuck. Soul stones. Bro, why are these guys so fucking resistant?
You just heard about Lakari? Oh, bro. Yeah. We watched his
Right
entire
now?
last stream on stream. Oh, sorry. I wasn't muted. We watched his entire last
Okay,
stream on
actually.
on this stream. It's bad.
Streamer drama. Always funny.
Way more than streamer drama.
No, but that happened like a week ago or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Even longer.
Yeah, like a
I
week
don't
or
follow
2
that
weeks
bit.
ago.
I'm not
Bro got
informed
caught with
at
a
all.
link to illegal porn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
You
I
saw
don't
that?
remember the names. No, I didn't saw
Well,
that.
not the
stream.
porn. The
You
stream.
feel
Apparently
would
those
hope
links
so.
aren't actually CP. It was close enough. I'm not gonna check myself. Right?
No. Don't think that's a
Dave.
good idea.
somebody wanna be part of the elite. Can you blame him?
Took me a second.
Well, if it really is that, he's underperforming though. Always getting these precasts when it's not necessary. Always. You have a free greater heal, yes. But nobody's having damage. You can now cast a heal that heal for 3000, yes, but the dude only has 200 damage.
Yeah, the Lakari thing is pretty funny. Well, horrific, but funny. And then the whole apology. Oh, I have a problem. I'll check myself into 6 rehab. Okay, bro. Okay. Yeah. I think those 7 days are up by now. He was imposing a self-described 30-day ban or something. Oh, shit. Yeah, TBC. Came out Friday. European servers though, this time around.
Whiffs. Wanna come,
Yes.
escape from Durnhold?
Do
Keepers of Time?
we have a full guild run?
No, but I've got a decent tank.
I don't know. I'm questing right now. So
Okay, no worries, no worries, no worries. I can only ask, I can only ask.
yeah, no, no. I'm happy that you asked.
How dare you? Bro, I need one mine. Give me a break. I really should do this at like 4 in the morning.
Oh, fuck. Okay, this might be.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Fun
was
for-
trying to mine at 4 in the morning last time as well, and I just couldn't find any mines, bro. Eventually I found like just enough to get me to where I needed, but fucking hell, it took like 2 hours. And I didn't need that much either. I think I needed like 10 mines total. Literally took me 2 hours.
Mm.
Hi, how are you? Alrighty then.
What the? So, about that streamer, what's the verdict now? What's happening now?
Lakari?
Yeah.
Oh, he basically just went, I have a sex problem, I'm going to go into rehab for 30 days.
Oh yeah, because that's gonna help it.
Yeah.
So that's all gone. Basically finished as a streamer. He'll probably never gets
Yeah.
an
Well,
audience again.
I mean, look at Dr. Disrespect. Like, he's not finished, but he's finished
Yeah.
at the level he was at, right? Like, you don't really... Even if it turns out to be not to be the illegal stuff we were talking about, his reputation's done, so, right? Bad publicity is still good publicity to a certain degree. No, yeah, it's like he won't fall off completely, but it's like with Dr. Disrespect. The dude was at the top of the game, right? I mean, he still streams to like look at Pirate Software. That's actually an even better example because his transgression was just that he's a douchebag, right? And he's a bit of a narcissist and he can't admit fault. And that's all he did, and yet he went from like 20,000 viewers to like 3,000, 4,000 viewers. And the only thing he's guilty of is being a narcissist, you know what I mean?
Huh? She streamed in a bathroom. What are you talking about?
What?
Dr. Disrespect?
No, Pirate Software.
Oh yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Wait, what do you mean? Dr. Disrespect did a hell of a lot more than stream from a bathroom.
Oh yeah, right, he had a conversation with a minor, right?
Yeah, which he admitted to, right? That's the part that, like, he admitted to that shit. Like, it's kind of nuts. He was a hacker for Blizzard, yeah. The Pirate Software story is hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
But that's what I'm saying. If even he loses like a bunch of rip just for being a narcissist, like Corey's basically done, right? As he should be. Like, let's be honest. still a meme to this day. Look at my mana. What am I to do for you? Oh, you were sub to Lakari? Rip. Ooh. Feels bad, man.
How does that work? If I sub like for 6 months to you, do you get that over 6 months, or you get that all this month?
It's over. It's every month. It's over 6 months.
Okay. So even though he falls off stream, he still has that revenue.
Normally, yes. I'm not sure how it works if you get banned though.
Yeah.
I think you're being summoned as a healer.
Who's getting some here?
Metas online.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's gonna have to wait. I'm in a dungeon right now.
Rip.
We're not at first boss yet, so...
Oh, force a habit. Fuck. Yeah, right. I have no idea what happens. I'm guessing it all gets stopped. Otherwise, Twitch would be stealing from you. They perma-banned them. But I don't think Lakara is perma-banned. It was like it got like 7 days or some shit.
Well met. See you soon.
Eating and shutting at the same time. It's like... not easy. The big thing. That's not a big thing. About this then. Actually, if you think about it, actually there's quite a finesse. I'm just jumping over this fence like it's nothing. Like the fence usually is like what? A meter 20?
His comeuppance will be inevitable, okay?
Speak it into existence, sis. I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting.
Context.
A couple of weeks ago, Hassan was banned on Twitch, a week-long suspension that was quickly reduced to 3 days. Because of this, Hassan decided to start multi-streaming on YouTube. Unfortunately, due to completely unforeseen circumstances, he has now already quit. Here's the complete crash out and more.
Hassan is no longer dual streaming to YouTube. It's been somewhat of a failure.
Yes, Chatter, you are not
I'm
wrong.
gonna
It's
hop
been
off. I'm gonna hop off
a
on the other
somewhat of a
channel
failure.
normally. So see you guys later.
Yo, see you.
You.
He actually tried to pull a DSP? Wait, really?
Hassan encourages his viewers to watch on both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously.
I have both up at the moment. I just mute one or the other. Nice. Open it on both. Just pump it. You know what I mean? Just pump it. Go crazy with it. Go crazy with it. I don't want to separate the audiences because on Twitch, if you have 15K and on YouTube you have 10K, that doesn't mean you have 25K total viewership. As far as reach goes, this is still my primary platform. And the reason why I'm going to continue doing it is
Well, I mean, like, I think the real reason why he didn't go and stream on YouTube is because it causes his Twitch stream to get really low viewership and then it looks bad. Whenever his Twitch stream can't even get over 20K viewers, he's going to look bad and it's going to look like he's falling off. Hassan cares a lot about image, right? At the same time, I think that long term, it's better to grow a brand multi-streaming. That's why I started multi-streaming myself. Now, luckily for me, I still have a lot of people that watch me on Twitch.
the view count in this circumstance is quite literally market dominance of ideology. Okay.
See? The optics. He wants to look popular, so his ideas look popular. And this is a big difference between like me and Hassan. I don't really need to launder my ideas through other people. If I was a non-political streamer, I would never want to stream with Hassan, just because it's disrespectful, right? If you have somebody who is outwardly saying, I want to collab with people so I can take advantage of their audience and get them to push my politics, like, I mean, if that's really it, I would never want to deal with that.
Market dominance for an idea, because it doesn't just mean the bigger number. What means for a higher viewership is a higher likelihood of bringing in fucking normies. People who are not socialists, but are on the fucking platform that are like, let me click to see what's going on in the world. Let me see what's happening. Let me see, oh, let me go and watch fucking Asmongold.
All about me. Entire career direction because of me. And I'm just sitting here.
Did you check out Emiru's apology? No, I haven't seen the Emiru apology stuff. I was gonna talk about it because like Asmongold apparently, like Emiru got yelled at because woke is back.
We do have to do something about this. I think I might ramp up my hostility towards the people online, because if you're not, they'll do it to you. I think I might ramp up my hostility.
Go ahead, bitch. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ramp up your hostility. Suck my fucking
That's, bro, like, it's such a good thing that you're gassing
Instant
up
crash
people
out.
who just openly, maliciously spread lies about other people. Say that Imuru hangs out with every rapist that she meets, and to
Yes.
say that Israelis are fine. Farming hate on someone who doesn't even know what the fuck a Zionist is. The person that's doing it, they are an administrator, a Twitch mod that has been ordained by Hassan. These are your guys that are contributing in a blatant harassment and abuse campaign for somebody that's not even involved in the topic. 7 months ago, I called this out. Did he rein any of this in? No. Because you don't want to have them go around and bully and try to... Yeah.
What's up, Twitch? Twitch, y'all seeing this?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with what I said. If I say that people need to be outspoken, voice their concerns and their criticism...
I think it's hilarious that Hassan Dog Striker Biker loses his mind and goes and runs to Daddy Dan Clancy. Oh, he said something I didn't like. Meanwhile, he's like bringing on terrorists on his platform, cheering for calling for violence. That's all fine, right? Bro, what? We live in a clown world, dude.
Then, yeah, I don't think I'm the one that's in the wrong.
His comeuppance will be inevitable, okay?
Speak it into existence, sis. Speak it. Oh, I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting. Jesus Christ.
And also, even though Asman had to take multiple breaks because of his dad, his overall internet presence has only been expanding, while Hassan's has been stagnating since 2022.
So like this weird thing where you're dragging somebody in who's like not involved in this political spectrum at all, weaponize their
Bro, I can't
innocence
find a
in
single
order
fucking
to, like,
mind,
make an
Jesus.
argument. I think that's very unfair to that person, and I think that Hassan should be ashamed of himself for doing that.
To her apolitical audience. Her audience is not apolitical. Her audience is right-wing. Let's be fucking real. Like I said, I think it is the financial pressures of having an audience that is comprised almost entirely of Asmongold's biggest fucking dipshit warriors is the major reason as to why she's not revealing her perspective. Actual bad people. I will say that about Asmongold. Asmongold's a bad person.
Denim. So I've seen there have been some old clips of Denims that have been circulating around.
Everyone on the left is so socially woke, they feel like they can't possibly be wrong. Point in case, Hassan. If Hassan thinks he's morally more virtuous than someone else, he just like...
Wow. So she actually just switched sides.
He just flames them. Like, he doesn't actually make any genuine good faith arguments towards other people.
What the hell happened? Did Destiny not wanting to fuck you really change your entire political outlook? What a shift!
Like, he doesn't like, give people any amount of benefit of the doubt. He just starts railing on people.
If Destiny had just taken one for the team, we'd have one less annoying e-girl to worry about. And instead of that, you've created a monster. You've done another, now you've spawned another one.
Not a single mine. Bro, not a single one. That's rough.
There are a lot of myths and legends surrounding the sinking of the Titanic. This one, well, it's a doozy. Did the White Star Line ever actually call their ship unsinkable? Well, the truth is, it's kind of complicated. Unsinkable is a word that can mean only one thing. It's an absolute. But it's been applied a few times in history to things that absolutely could sink. Today, the word is still largely attached to one disaster in particular, one that shocked the public so severely that debate still rages about it to this day: Titanic. How that word came to be associated with the Titanic is an interesting story. There was a whole series of disasters and accidents that had to happen to ships before Titanic that her design team had learned lessons from and tried to implement into their own ship's designs. But was Titanic ever actually marketed as unsinkable? Who even used the word, and why, if ever, did people think the ship couldn't actually sink? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your friend Mike Brady from Ocean Liner Designs, and today, let's bust some more Titanic myths. It's almost impossible to bring up Titanic in discussion without the word unsinkable eventually popping up. After all, she was considered an engineering marvel of her time. With so many technologically advanced safety components, she was thought to be virtually invincible. That's why, of course, the news of her loss was met with disbelief, shock, and actual palpable outrage by the general public. But it may surprise you to know that the word unsinkable had been used many times before for other ships, and that Titanic's designers and builders had actually put a lot of thought into learning from other disasters to try to properly earn the phrase. First, let's try to understand where the word actually came from and how it came to be associated with Titanic in particular. The first thing we need to consider is that monumental leap forward from
how the fuck is it underground
to the ocean liners like Titanic. We've talked about it a lot on this channel. It was like a space-age jump. In the 1850s, people were still sailing for months at a time on tiny sailing ships of about 3,000 tons. But just 50 years later, a 20,000-ton passenger steamship could cross the Atlantic in just 5 days.
Oh, God.
It was an extraordinary time, and rules and regulations were, in some ways, struggling to keep up. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, at the height of what's widely considered the golden age of ocean liners, competition was fierce amongst rival shipping companies who were vying to offer the most extraordinary passenger travel experience available. Transatlantic crossings aboard massive passenger ships were becoming not only a comfortable means of travel, but a status symbol among society's elite. By building the most luxurious and talked about liners at sea, a shipping company could cement their standing as the go-to choice for affluent travelers. Cunard and White Star,
Someone mined it already as well.
transatlantic lines, were the main opponents entrenched in this war. The European companies like North German Lloyd, Hamburg America, and France's CGT, or French Line, were also involved. It was a dizzying race. When one company would successfully build and launch what was considered the grandest liner ever built by man, another company would respond quickly with a bigger, faster, and more luxurious liner and reclaim the spotlight. This happened on and on and on for decades leading up to Titanic's launch. The wealthiest members of society would tend to travel in cliques,
Oh, thank
or
God.
groups, and they'd only sail on the best of the best, meaning that if a company could win over one notable public figure, they'd likely win over their friends, family, and colleagues as well. It was a classic capitalist neck-and-neck contest to secure the loyalty and cash of some of the most influential people alive. Most people think that profits for the big shipping companies were driven only by the migrant trade, but actually, it was the wealthier travelers in first class who brought in the most revenue. By 1908, Cunard Line had recently launched sister ships Mauretania and Lusitania, which at the time were some of the fastest and most lavish passenger liners ever built. Both liners had snagged the highly coveted blue ribbon for the fastest transatlantic crossing, an honour that further drove wealthy clientele toward one liner over another. Mauretania would end up holding onto this record for an astounding 19 years. And this is where we learn the first very interesting fact about the word unsinkable, because Titanic wasn't even the first ship to ever have the word attached to it. Long before the term had been tossed around for Titanic and Olympic's construction, it had actually been used by a trade journal called The Shipbuilder in 1907, when they were discussing Cunard Line's Mauretania and Lusitania, calling them, quote, practically unsinkable. And it heralded their modern and cutting-edge safety innovations. It wasn't just the Cunarders either. The term unsinkable was applied to German liners like the Kaiser Wilhelm der Große. By highlighting how safe their ships were in their marketing,
Wilhelm the Great.
White Star Line hoped to soothe the fears of a still nervous public. But these companies were also very clever with how they worded those claims. For centuries, just setting out to sea to travel somewhere was a serious risk to your own life. The White Star Line and Cunard had both lost ships in disasters. In the early days, ships had been driven onto rocks, lost in storms with hundreds of lives lost or simply disappeared. Even before then, in the golden days of sail, whole ships would never be seen again. On the passenger trade to Australia in the early 1800s, many would simply vanish in the vicinity of icebergs drifting up from Antarctica. The Loch Last, for example, operated a whole fleet of 25 smart,
That's a long time.
ships out to Australia, but only 5 would ever be scrapped, because the majority of the rest were lost in accidents, groundings, storms, or disappearances. This is the kind of environment Titanic was born out of. For the longest time, people were afraid of the ocean, and they had good reason to be so. Seas could generate waves the size of mountains, ships could be swallowed whole and never seen again. Before Titanic's sinking gripped the world's imagination, horrible stories like the loss of the SS Birkenhead in the Arctic ran in the papers, and they terrified readers. This is also the environment that Titanic's owners operated in, and even some of her crew, like Titanic's captain, Edward John Smith, were veterans of the days of sail. In fact, Smith had seen and heard it all. The sea was a very scary place. In fact, Captain Smith had started out on sailing ships of maybe 1,000 or 2,000 tons, but by 1907, he was in command of White Star Line's newest ship, the enormous 20,000-ton liner Adriatic. He said with complete sincerity in an interview that, quote, "I cannot imagine any condition which would cause a ship to founder. I cannot conceive of any vital disaster happening to this vessel. Modern shipbuilding has gone beyond that." This was 5 years before the introduction of Titanic, and already in the press, this new breed of ship was being touted as impervious to disaster and Mother Nature. 4 years later, Smith would be in command of Olympic, more than twice the size of the Adriatic. So, what kinds of disasters and accidents had guided the design and construction of Titanic? Well, we've all heard about the so-called watertight bulkheads and doors, the deficiency of lifeboats, guided by the idea that the ship itself was a lifeboat. There are dozens of disasters that had guided the designs of ships like Titanic. But then in 1909, just 3 years prior to the sinking of the ship, another ship sank which seemed to prove that the new designs worked. The White Star liner RMS Republic, known as the Millionaire's ship due to the number of affluent who were fond of travelling aboard her, was making a crossing from New York to the Mediterranean when she encountered some heavy fog off the island of Nantucket. Realising the very real threat of the poor weather conditions and extremely limited visibility, Republic maintained her speed and regularly signalled her presence to any nearby ships using her whistles. But suddenly, at around 5:45 AM, another ship's whistle was heard by the crew, and it sounded ominously close. The Italian liner, the SS Florida, appeared out of the fog, colliding with the Republic amidships on her port side, flooding the engine and boiler rooms, and crushing Florida's bow. Fortunately for the passengers, the sinking of the Republic was a very slow process, taking nearly 9 hours to fully founder, and it was all thanks to all the lessons learned and the design choices that had been made.
Bro, I'm so
Watertight
spaced out
bulkheads,
today.
huge interior
It's
steel
really annoying.
walls which could be sealed off, prevented water from quickly spreading throughout the ship. Crucially though, the state-of-the-art Marconi wireless system that was found on board Republic was used to send one of history's first ever distress signals to call for assistance. By the time the ship went under, all its passengers had been successfully transferred to other ships aboard the Republic's own lifeboats. It was believed that with the amount of maritime traffic ever increasing, even in the deadliest of situations, another ship would always be nearby to receive a distress call like this and rescue all the passengers on board. Miraculously, the only deaths attributed to this accident were 6 people who perished as a result of the collision itself, rather than the sinking. The loss of the Republic represented a new, safer era in sea travel, which was bolstered by technological advancements that made peril at sea seemingly a thing of the past. Even if a ship did sink, thanks to new safety measures, the ship's lifeboats would only ever need to be used to transfer survivors from one ship to another. The concept was proved, and the lessons were learned and ingrained. So, just how could you really blame the shipping industry and the public at large for getting
Bro, we're only
swept up and
halfway, what the
subsided
fuck?
as ships only got bigger and bigger? Of course, size wasn't just a matter of marketing and good hubris. A bigger ship was more stable. It was less at risk of being swallowed whole by the ocean or damaged by some massive wave. It would take longer to sink. It was simply safer. With modern ships getting bigger and safer all the time, it makes sense that words like unsinkable would get thrown around, especially when Olympic and Titanic, which were 3 times larger and far more advanced than Republic, were being constructed. Now look, as we know, the advancements in ship design and safety by this point had come a long way since the days of sail. It was thought at the time that features like watertight compartments would render any vessel equipped with them virtually impervious to hazards like grounding, rough weather, or collisions at sea. The watertight compartments on Titanic were designed to run the entire width of the lower portion of the ship, breaking it up into 16 sections, each of which could be individually sealed off via special watertight doors through an electric switch in the bridge in the event of flooding or a breach. By doing so, incoming water would be contained within just those compartments without flooding the entire ship, allowing her to stay afloat even with damage to the hull. This was considered cutting edge at the time. In the years prior, any breach in a ship's hull would result in a sinking. With this new and advanced technology, passengers no longer needed to fear the ship foundering thanks to taking on water or running aground. It was this safety measure in particular that earned Titanic and her contemporaries the title, practically unsinkable. In reality though, there are virtually no records of a ship being advertised as just unsinkable. That is not without a qualifier. This brings us to the marketing and word-of-mouth advertising used behind ships like Titanic. It was easy enough to relay the safety of your ship to a restless clientele, but the White Star Line took no chances when it came to making actual, legitimate promises on paper. In fact, in almost all printed marketing relating to Titanic or any passenger liners of the day, the ships weren't even referred to as unsinkable. Really, the word was not even used on any postcards or posters by the ship's owners. But in Titanic's case, the word was used, at least once, in a September 1910 publicity brochure advertising the construction of Titanic and Olympic. The company stated, and pay attention to the wording here, that, quote, "As far as it is possible to do so, these two wonderful vessels are designed to be unsinkable." By the standards of the day, and as well as they were able to, Harland and Wolff, the shipbuilders, had made Olympic and Titanic as unsinkable as conventional wisdom and experience had taught them. By including the phrase, "as far as it is possible to do so," the brochure's wording was insinuating that it was actually impossible to build a ship that could never sink. While this may seem like a technicality or a small semantic difference, it's that exact tightrope walk that kept companies like the White Star Line and Harland and Wolff in the clear legally, while still maintaining an air of dominance when it came to the safety of their ships. The Shipbuilder, which is the publication largely responsible for liners being ever thought of as unsinkable in print, may not have been so original in their reporting as you might think. According to maritime historian Bill Sauter, much of the writing found within the pages of the Shipbuilder had likely been supplied by White Star Line directly, with very few changes made to the copy between the shipping journal's articles and White Star's own publicity brochures. The common idea of Titanic being touted as unsinkable by dozens of independent papers, journals, and brochures before the sinking seems to diminish in gravity when you consider that the origin of many of these claims can be traced back to one not so impartial source. In all likelihood, White Star Line realised fully that the use of the term unsinkable would catch on, and word would spread among the potential clientele, with the qualifier practically, or as far as it is possible to do so, ending up completely forgotten. And it seems to have worked. Word of mouth was a powerful tool for this type of advertising, and it was especially effective in the booking process. This was 1912, of course, an era well before the advent of the internet and travel booking websites. In order to book a passage on a ship, you would need to actually speak to a travel agent in their offices to help facilitate your plans. Arriving at the travel agency, and undoubtedly brimming with questions, potential passengers were reassured by White Star agents that yes, of course the Titanic was unsinkable. Sure enough, these claims of unsinkability spread and were beginning to seep into the mythos surrounding the ship even before she left Southampton. There are many examples and testimonies that actually support this. Take, for example, one of the most notable passengers aboard Titanic, the British fashion designer Lady Duff Gordon. She found herself in need of quick travel accommodations thanks to sudden and urgent business in New York. Upon arriving at the White Star offices in Liverpool and meeting with the clerk, she was told that due to short notice,
timing,
they would be able to accommodate her on the maiden voyage of the brand new ship Titanic. Though she had made the transatlantic crossing several times before, Lady Duff Gordon was nervous at the prospect of sailing on a new and unfamiliar ship. According to her, the clerk scoffed at her hesitance and said, "Of all things, I should imagine you could not possibly feel nervous on the Titanic. Why, the boat is absolutely unsinkable. Her watertight compartments would enable her to weather the fiercest sea ever known, and she is the last word in comfort and luxury." Then, maybe as a final selling point to sway Lady Duff Gordon, the clerk added, "This first voyage is going to make history in ocean travel." Unfortunately, he was right, just not in the way that he probably expected. Claims about Olympic and Titanic's unsinkability can even be traced to some of her officers and designers. One man recalled in a newspaper report from 1912 that Captain Smith had used the word unsinkable to describe his ship after a collision with the British warship Hawke. Apparently, Smith had said, the Olympic is unsinkable and Titanic will be the same when she's put in commission. Why, either of these vessels could be cut in halves and each would remain afloat almost indefinitely. The non-sinkable vessel has been reached in these two wonderful craft. I venture to add that even if the engines and boilers of these vessels were to fall through their bottoms, the vessels would remain afloat. Smith's description of being able to cut or damage Titanic into sections and those sections staying afloat is corroborated by 3 separate witnesses on 3 separate occasions. And we don't need to wonder very much where he got that specific turn of phrase from either. Eleanor Casimir was a first-class passenger who remembered that Thomas Andrews, Titanic's chief designer, had told her the same thing over the dinner table. White Star Line and Harland and Wolff might have avoided heavy use of the word unsinkable in their published brochures and their material. It seems like the ship's design team and their crew weren't afraid of spreading the word, and it worked. There are dozens of examples of witnesses and survivors recalling the word unsinkable being used and spread between friends and officials alike. Unfortunately, the spread of such claims had taken hold of many aboard once the ship set sail, to the extent that even once the ship was actively sinking, many passengers and even some of the crew still didn't even call into question the integrity of the ship. Most assumed that even though she was compromised, listing, and visibly going down by the head, she would still manage to stay afloat until rescue arrived, just like the Republic had. Passengers were told to put on their life belts, but many considered the process needless aboard a ship that they believed to be unsinkable. Even once women and children were beginning to be ushered into the lifeboats, many hesitated to board them. But beneath their feet, the same two men who told them that the ship could be cut into 3 sections and stay afloat, Thomas Andrews and Captain Smith, were stood staring at tons and tons of water pouring in and calculating just how much time was left. What would be the point of stepping into a cramped, rickety lifeboat, leaving behind husbands and fathers, being lowered into the freezing cold ocean in pitch black, when instead they could just stay aboard Titanic and wait for transfer onto another ship once it arrived? The belief in Titanic's unsinkability was responsible for a great deal of delay in the actual loading of the lifeboats, since even some officers aboard didn't really believe the reality of the sinking until time was already running out. This contributed to several lifeboats launching well under capacity, some by a factor of more than half, even though the ship already didn't have enough lifeboats for all on board. Even after she had sunk on the morning of April 15th, 1912, she was still being lauded to the press as unsinkable. Philip A.S. Franklin, White Star Line's boss in New York, was speaking to the press regarding reports that the Titanic had struck an iceberg overnight. There had still been no confirmation of her sinking by that point, and Franklin was determined to dispel any rumours that his ship had gone down. He made a few different statements to different publications, assuring them and their readers that there was no danger of the iceberg having caused the ship to sink. He repeated again and again his conviction that no fatal damage had befallen Titanic, emphasising that even if the ship had gone down several feet by the head, it wouldn't interfere with her successfully completing her maiden voyage. Later that day, though, as news began to spread that yes, the unsinkable Titanic had in fact sunk, Franklin made one final statement to the press. With tears in his eyes, he is quoted as saying, "I thought her unsinkable, and I based my opinion on the best expert advice. I do not understand it." So much faith had been put into the design of Titanic's watertight bulkheads, doors, and compartments. In theory, the idea seemed sound enough, but today we all know where the failure points were. The bulkheads didn't reach any higher than E deck, only a story or two above the waterline. Water could spill over the top of them and have its run of the ship. The bulkheads had slowed the rate of sinking down, to be sure, but if they'd reached higher up in the hull, then it's likely Titanic could have remained afloat into the next morning and the next day. Remarkably, the story doesn't actually end there. After Titanic was sunk, her sister Olympic was pulled from service for a full refurbishment. Her safety features were enhanced, of course. A full inner hull was installed, her watertight bulkheads were raised higher up in the hull, with many reaching as high as B deck. She was laden with dozens and dozens of lifeboats, and when she was revealed to the world, she was referred to in marketing as the New Olympic. The New York Times reported, the White Star Liner Olympic left Southampton today on her first trip for New York, since she was fitted with double steel bottom and additional bulkheads that are declared by her owners to make her unsinkable. Around May 1912, Bruce Ismay, the man who dreamt up Olympic and Titanic, made a statement in an interview, and it was poignant because Ismay was deeply affected by the loss of his ship, and it'd never actually be the same again. He said, "Everybody learns by experience. One thing that I learned when the Titanic went down is that the laws relating to the preservation of life are not adequate. They were based, no doubt, on the assumption that the great ocean liners, with their highly developed system of bulkheads, were unsinkable. But experience has taught us that at present there is no such thing as an unsinkable ship. I admit that I was among those who were deluded on this point. I had gone along like the rest of the steamship men on the theory that our ships were unsinkable." So, was the Titanic ever actually called unsinkable? Well, kind of, yeah. Not in a really concrete way, as if posters for the ship had just said unsinkable right on them, but in a more roundabout way, through word of mouth, and sometimes, as in Harland & Wolff's brochure, with that qualifier. As always, history is nuanced. So the next time somebody brings this topic up as a did you know fact, you can hit them with the old, well actually. That's what this channel is all about. Join me next time when we deconstruct some more Titanic myths. 1. Was the ship on fire when she struck the iceberg and therefore weakened because of it? And 2. Was she made out of brittle and poor steel? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your friend Mike Brady from Ocean Liner Designs. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment below.
Go follow him, Ocean Liner Designs. He doesn't design jack shit, but the ship videos are awesome. I love this channel. It's great. Like the channel's great. That's all I can say. I wouldn't even get caught dead on a ship, right? But but they're still cool. Oh, crap.
It's 1870, and Victorian England is gripped by devastating newspaper headlines. The finest, newest ship in the Royal Navy has gone down with nearly all hands in a storm that modern battleships...
Right now, on this character, 66.
Testimony from the lucky few who made it tell a terrible story. The ship has rolled over and sunk in just 3 minutes. But this was not a disaster nobody could see coming. Quite.
I have a level 60 mage.
Now, 2 men had been in a heated disagreement.
And then level 34 rogue, 25 hunter, and then a couple of low levels.
Architect, the brain behind some of the most revolutionary designs in the Victorian arsenal. This is a twisting tale of bluster, incompetence, and design mismanagement that would result in one of the Royal Navy's bloodiest days. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your friend Mike Brady from Ocean Liner Designs, and this is the tragic, unbelievable true story of HMS Captain, the battleship that was doomed by design. Our story begins in 1860, where in the British Admiralty, some interesting things were happening.
I didn't play at all yesterday though. It was
revolutionary ship for the Royal
super
Navy,
sick.
the first ever iron-hulled warship, HMS Warrior. She'd been built in response to the build-up of the French Navy in a tit-for-tat game that had lasted decades.
I think.
Back in the days of Napoleon, warships very much looked and behaved the same way they'd done for centuries. They were made of thick
the
timber,
PvE one.
oak, and fired iron balls, among other types of shot,
on Europe,
out of
obviously.
guns and carronades that were rated by the weight of the shot they could hurl. The smallest could be around 9 pounds, 4 kilograms, and the largest up to 36 pounds or 16 kilograms. The guns were limited in range and accuracy, so engagements were often undertaken at close ranges in slogging matches that saw the iron balls fired point blank into the oak hulls, spraying deadly splinters out into the crews inside. It was nasty business, but that was the way it was done for hundreds of years. Then, slowly, some new and novel ideas began to catch on. Inventors and boffins had been playing with steam engines for decades, and some even had the bright idea of applying them to small boats. In fact, at the same time as Napoleon's armies were marching on Russia, some clever people had fitted steam engines to boats designed for towing other ships into port. Now, the idea caught on. By the 1820s, the tugboat had changed world commerce because big ships could be unloaded quicker and more conveniently. By the way, we did a video on that, you should go watch it if you're interested. The steam engine had obvious military potential. The Americans built a steam-powered frigate back in 1815, and through the 1820s, the navies of France and Britain began to experiment as well. And of course, on land, steam engines were catching on too. And the birth of the Industrial Revolution meant that improved manufacturing techniques could be implemented on ships as well. The stage was set for an unprecedented technological boom, and the Industrial Revolution began. Suddenly, ships began to get bigger and more daring in their construction. Steam engines became the norm, and then guns got bigger too, firing shot as heavy as 68 pounds or 30 kilograms. In 1859, the French introduced Gloire, or Glory, the first ocean-going ironclad which had a wooden hull partly protected by iron plating. Now, this was a modern warship designed to fight the same kind of battles as French ships of the line had fought back in the days of Napoleon, toe-to-toe, at close quarters, broadside to broadside. Now, the British couldn't let the challenge go unanswered, of course, so they built Warrior. Now, it sounds impressive that Warrior was the first iron-hulled warship, sure, but the Navy was actually a little bit late to the party in a way, because Isambard Brunel's famous SS Great Britain, the first true ocean liner, had featured an iron hull some 15 years earlier. The benefits of an iron hull in an ocean liner were very clear. The ship could be built larger and lighter, and it would be better protected from the elements. But for a warship, the benefits were even greater. Gloir's old-fashioned guns couldn't touch it. The balls would just rattle harmlessly off the side. In fact, the Warrior was impervious to any gun then in service. What followed Warrior's introduction was the inevitable game of tit-for-tat as competing navies introduced ships that began to move further away from the broadside-style battleship of the line that Gloire had so resembled. In burst a key player for the Royal Navy in this battle of supremacy, Sir Edward J. Reed, chief constructor of the Navy from 1863 and a real innovator and visionary. Reed knew that the battle between guns and armour would require a new and fresh approach, and although his ideas might now seem to be common sense, you have to remember that in this age there was absolutely no precedent, and the engineers simply had to make things up as they went. Gloire's designers had built a ship that would have dominated the Battle of Trafalgar of 1805, but was rendered obsolete within a year of launch by Warrior. Warrior's armour had been impervious to any projectile back in 1860, but within a few years gun technology had caught up. Reed needed to design Britain's ships for a completely new kind of warfare. His first idea was the centre battery ship. Now, this was partly inspired by the Battle of Hampton Roads between the Union ironclad, USS Monitor, and the Confederate CSS Virginia. Reed's idea was that the guns and powder could be housed in a central casemate structure, heavily armoured and protected. Now, doing this meant that the rest of the ship could be less armoured, and the ship itself could be smaller, and therefore, theoretically, more manoeuvrable. Critically, a shorter ship meant that it would be cheaper to build and maintain, which, for a peacetime navy, was a big deal. HMS Bellerophon was the first central battery ironclad after tests had been done on smaller designs and converted sloops, and she marked a major departure for the design of battleships. Now, for one thing, the ship's guns were immense compared to the old-style cannons. They were breech-loaded. They fired a 9-inch, 229mm shell. The ship's waist was protected by an armoured belt, and her gun turrets were housed in casemates 6 inches or 152mm thick. Now, this presented the formula by which warships were armoured for nearly the next 100 years, and the modern battleship was born. There was, however, still a persistent issue. The guns were fixed in place, just as they had been on the older-style broadside warships. To truly be effective, the modern warship would need to be able to engage the enemy on any course without moving the entire ship. This is where we have to introduce our second important character. A clever idea had come from a certain Captain Cowper Phipps Coles. This name will be very important later on, by the way. While he was a gunnery officer of some renown in the Black Sea in 1859, he patented the design for a revolving turret. The idea had partly come from the Crimean War, when he and a team of officers and men constructed a floating raft that mounted a 32-pounder gun and shelled Russian positions on the land. It sparked an obsession with the idea of ships as floating batteries with protected gun shields sitting low in the water, like his raft had, to present as small a target as possible. His design for the revolving gun turret, then known as a cupola, received important support, and the Admiralty was listening. They agreed to build a prototype and mount it to a ship for testing. The results were impressive. The gun, a 40-pound breech loader, could fire faster and more accurately without the need for complex and delicate tackle. Aside from the fact the gun could fire in nearly all directions, the rate of fire was significantly increased, and so too was the crew comfort because there was less smoke and heat, although the noise was apparently nearly deafening. Cole's cupola gun needed only 9 men to operate versus the 11 men required for a similar broadside gun. And not only that, but the cupola, when fired upon by a 100-pound gun for testing, received 35 hits without any real damage at all, save for one cracked plate. Now, one key advantage was that the further the target got, the more difficult the shot became. Where broadside guns' accuracy would drop off, the cupola gun just got better. The Admiralty was impressed, and 2 older ships were converted into turret ships mounting Cole's designs. So, the road to the design of HMS Captain had winded and twisted its way through innovation and clever design concepts in a world that had never before seen this kind of technology in action. Reed's designs had changed the warship forever into what we know today as the battleship, but Cole's turrets improved naval gunnery in the extreme. Both men were confident in their abilities, more emboldened in their designs, and Cole's mind drifted back to his Crimean War raft and the dream he'd had of a ship presenting as little a target as possible while mounting massive turret guns. He wanted to have it built, and he would get his way. He lobbied the Admiralty to build a turret ship to his design and specification, and they instructed him to take one of Reed's designs instead, the HMS Pallas of 1865, and size it up. The result was HMS Monarch. Designing these ships was not easy at all. For one, there were problems caused simply by the nature of their construction. Iron-hulled steamships were, by that stage, too fuel-hungry to be able to cross the world's oceans on steam power alone. That's why ships of that age held onto their sails and masts as a kind of auxiliary power. The issue was that turrets on ships added a fair amount of weight themselves, and, mounted too high up on the hull, presented seaworthiness issues. You could have masts and sails, and your ship could go further, but turrets would upset balance and the ship could roll dangerously. Or you could have a reduced sail rig and mount the turret guns, but the ship would be limited to coastal and home defense duties. It couldn't cross the oceans. Now, Coles would have none of it.
No, that's
he began
my
to
wrist.
lobby hard for
my
a fully
arm
rigged
wrist.
turret ship that could be the vanguard of the fleet, a sea-going, ocean-crossing turret ship. Now, Reed, who had served as chief naval constructor for some time now, recognized the issues and warned that to do so could cause issues with seaworthiness. The two men began to butt heads, which culminated in a furious debate at the Institute of Naval Architects. But Coles had good popular support. In 1865, a committee was established to explore his ideas and the viability of an ocean-going turret vessel. He had asked the Admiralty for assistance in a new design, and they'd given him the services of naval architect Joseph Scullard, chief draftsman of the Portsmouth Doctrine.
No.
The pair had drawn up designs for an ocean-going ship fielding a single turret.
Who this?
A group of naval...
PJ?
Oh, PJ. You wanna come Underbrook?
No.
No. Why not?
Because I'm sick and I don't want to commit to a dungeon when I can have to go to the bathroom every second.
Okay. Fair enough.
The only job is to
nominated
buff
by the
anyway.
Admiralty, although Coles had hilariously offered to nominate his own members in a totally non-biased way, of course, sat down and examined Scullard and Coles' designs to give their opinion. The outcome was that they liked the idea, but they rejected it almost purely because the design was too small and mounted only one turret. They wanted more, in case the one turret jammed, for example, or it was knocked out in action. More importantly, although maybe later on, was the matter of freeboard, that is to say how much of the ship actually rose above the waterline. Reduced freeboard in Cole's previous ships wasn't an issue because they were designed for coastal operations in calm water. But a reduced freeboard in an ocean-going ship could be a recipe for disaster if it wasn't handled well, because it would be difficult to keep the ocean from getting into the hatches and the vents. The issue with turret ships is that they needed low freeboard though because of their sheer weight. If the hull was built too tall, then the ship's centre of gravity would be dangerously high. Reed pointed out that there could be ways to avoid this issue and said that nothing but the greatest carelessness could make a ship of that sort unsafe from the wash of the sea over her. He did not object to designing or building an ocean-going turret ship, but he was worried about Cole's authority over the matter and the fact that it seemed like he was putting all the responsibility for the design onto Scullard, who had really only just been brought on to assist. The result of all of this was approval for a test vessel, the first ocean-going turret vessel, HMS Monarch. Crucially, the ship was designed by Reed, who recognised the issue that fielding two turrets high above the waterline might present.
Hey, now the tango's
To how the
applying.
ship would behave
God
at
damn.
sea, she was given a forecastle deck, which would provide more buoyancy towards the bow. Of course, this blocked the firing arcs of the forward gun turret, and it irritated Coles, who seemed to prioritise firepower above all else. Reed had also increased the freeboard from Cole's proposed 10 feet to 14 feet. And even though the Admiralty was delighted with their new toy, and turret guns would at last take to the open seas, Reed was himself not thrilled with his creation. He wrote that the middle of the deck of a fully rigged ship is not a very eligible position for fighting large guns. The major issue was that the sheer amount of rigging in the way, all those ropes and stays, would need to be cleared away for action, which was an incredibly time-consuming and complex process. Coles was also unimpressed with Monarch, because the design had departed from his concept. The forecastle he saw as unnecessary, and and he took issue with the increased freeboard and the height of the belt armor and the turrets. Coles went on the attack, publicly condemning Reed's efforts with such vehemence that the Admiralty had to step in and censure him.
So,
It got
Underdog, right?
so bad that his contract as consultant
That's
to
the
the
other
Navy
way.
was cancelled. But Coles was a
come
well-respected
outside
war
and
hero
you'll see it.
and a designer. He had powerful allies in politics and the civilian world who trusted his judgment and saw his as a revolutionary. act. After something of an apology, the Admiralty reinstated his role as consultant, but they were feeling external pressure to adopt his ideas in their
Get
purest
decided to
form
jump
on
off.
the new design. Coles had lobbied hard for his design to be approved, and even had backing from the First Sea Lord. Not only that, but the public had taken considerable interest because warships were so interconnected with national glory. The greatest strides in design and technology had cultivated a strong sense of public pride and feeling, and Coles, the loudest voice in the room, was lauded as a kind of technological savant.
All right.
The Admiralty Board eventually caved and agreed that Coles' design could be built, but with one little important caveat. Coles would need to wear the responsibility of the design and oversee it in its entirety, constructed at a yard approved by the Admiralty, entirely under Coles' own supervision. The Admiralty and Reed
Just realised that was on the wrong
trust
fucking
Coles'
scene.
ideas, and they were not going to be the ones to wear the embarrassment if the design should fail, as they feared it would. Coles agreed, and the stage was set. HMS Captain was born. It would lead to the death of nearly 500 men, including Coles. Coles informed the Admiralty that his shipyard of choice was Laird's at Birkenhead, England, and soon a pair of designs was submitted for Reed to review. Reed, who was no great fan of the concept or Coles to begin with, was actually unusually generous in his assessment, reporting that the designs were clearly well thought out, but he flagged the tiny freeboard, just 8 feet. And he suggested the drawings required a fuller and more exacting examination before approval could be given. His request was ignored by the First Lord, John Packington, who told Coles that he had approval to build his ship, quote, on the entire responsibility of yourself and Messrs. Laird. For their part, the Admiralty would inspect the workmen and the materials to make sure they were up to standard. Reed was dismayed by this, and he made it clear that the designs and plans were entirely Laird's own, and that anything sent to him would not be marked approved in the usual way, but as no objection is seen. Even so, as construction began, Reed voiced his concerns in a letter to Laird, stating that, on investigating the matter, I find that the centre of gravity of ships armed and plated in the proposed manner is situated higher than would appear probable at first sight, and I would advise Messrs. Laird be requested to satisfy themselves thoroughly on this point. But his objection was virtually all but ignored. As it happened, Laird's had only conducted basic estimates of the centre of gravity of their ship before construction, and then, when the ship was finished 4 years later, at last completed a more thorough estimate, which showed it had risen by a foot. Even worse, it soon became clear that the ship had been built terribly overweight, with some 735 tons of excess weight having not been taken into account at all during the construction process. This would soon have serious ramifications. Of course, towering over all of it were the heavy gun turrets, and above that, the tall masts and the complex rigging for the sails. In fact, Coles decided to fit his ship with the heaviest possible mast and spar plan in an effort to counter any of the sluggish seafaring behaviour from those early steam-powered warships. In most vessels, the mast height might reach about 86 feet to the top.
The hell was that?
The captain's soared to 96. It
I
was a
thought it
lot
was
of
you.
weight above the waterline.
No,
Reed was
no, I
very
wasn't.
unimpressed.
I thought you
He
were
raised
laughing.
alarms the entire time
No,
Captain
no.
was being built, but in return he earned criticism and scorn.
I never
It
laugh.
became too much. Before Captain was finished, Reed resigned in outrage, and with his departure went all resistance to HMS Captain's design deficiencies. Captain was completed in 1870, and given she was a bit of a prototype novelty, the Admiralty was keen to compare her against contemporaries, especially her forebear, HMS Monarch. Now, right off the bat, it was obvious that not all was well with Captain. For one, she sat far lower in the water than she had been intended. When the ship was first floated, she sat 13 inches or 33 centimeters lower in the water than designed. The result was an overweight, top-heavy ship with a freeboard of just 6 foot 7 inches. Remember, she was meant to have 8 feet above the waterline at least. In a moderate sea, she rolled up to 14 degrees, but this was considered acceptable, with her captain, Victoria Cross winner Hugh Burgoyne, going so far as to say that Captain was a, quote, complete success, and in my opinion, one of the most efficient men of war in the world. The big question was whether Captain's guns would be impacted by all the rigging surrounding the turrets, and a gunnery trial was organised where Monarch and Captain, alongside a third warship, the central battering ship Hercules, designed by Reed at the same time as Captain, would fire under steam
I was out of form
on a
anyways.
target. The results were bad. Very, very bad. Hercules outgunned Monarch and Captain, both in terms of accuracy and rate of fire. Reed's ship fired 17 rounds and hit the target 10 times. Captain only managed 11 shots and 4 hits. That wasn't all. Captain began to exhibit some bizarre, worrying behaviour. With their guns blazing, the ship began to roll. The first salvo sent Captain over by no less than 20 degrees. Now, Reed had warned in a debate at the Institute of Naval Architects that a ship capable of rolling to 20 degrees like that was in danger of losing its righting ability entirely and liable to capsize. He would soon be proven tragically correct. If it wasn't such an awful loss of human life, you can probably classify the events to be one of the most devastating cases of I told you so in naval history. On September 6, 1870, Captain was cruising in a squadron of 10 other warships, a combined force of vessels from both the Channel and the Mediterranean squadrons out of Vigo, Spain. They were both steaming and sailing off the west coast of Spain at Cape Finisterre, a rocky peninsula often at the mercy of the Atlantic Ocean's legendary temper. Sailing in the squadron were Monarch, Warrior, Hercules, and other big names from the early days of British ironclad battleships. In command of the entire exercise was Admiral Alexander Milne aboard his flagship, the Lord Warden. And that morning, he stepped aboard Captain to inspect her since she was something of a novelty and he was totally unfamiliar with her.
Bro, I'm watching like documentaries on like ye olde ships, right? It's making me want to play Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah.
Weren't they doing like a remake of that game?
Yes, I'm actually kind of looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
If they don't ruin it, at least, because it is still Ubisoft in current day.
If it will happen, or if Ubisoft will go bottoms up before that.
Yeah, yeah. The old game still works as well. It's just, it's starting to show its age. I mean, actually, no. In terms of the technical side, it starts to show its age. It looks fantastic still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have it on PC. It's one of the
I really
those
like
games I put on just
games, but
to fuck around.
After they put in like the leveling system, which I don't think belong in the game, it kind of like
Oh, when they turn it into like an open world type RPG thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it, Origins?
Yeah, I think it was Origins. I used to really love Assassin's Creed games.
I don't like the new ones either. Like
action RPGs and not like assassin games.
Yes, yeah.
Need a drink? Oh,
Yeah.
Why not? Or not?
It also kind of lost like the aura that the games had. Like, how did Ezio? What a badass! I forgot the name of the guy, but like the blonde guy from the pirate game, Black Flag. What a badass! And then you've got some rando Egyptian and some rando Greek. It was like, right?
Yeah.
I really like the Egyptian game though, actually, because the story there was actually pretty good.
I'm gonna be honest, I never played the Egyptian one. I played the Greek one because when the Greek one came out, my friend was like, the Greek one's the same as the Egyptian one, so I just bought the Greek one.
Like the gameplay wise, they're almost the exact same. But
Yeah.
the story in the Greek one isn't as good, and it's very, very. It drags on. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
too
never
long,
finished
and
it. I have the
there's,
same
like,
problem
big-
with the Viking
big
one.
Sessions, it doesn't happen. Yeah.
It's like it's not like they're not bad games. They just you grow bored
They
of
used
them.
to be they used to be very linear and very easy to finish. Like it didn't take that much time. You had like a good 30 hours gameplay and then they were done. But nowadays an Assassin's Creed game is like 60 to 70 hours. And
I
kinda
don't
time
necessarily
to-
mind that. It just depends on what you're doing in those 60 hours. Right?
Yeah, the pacing is way off on the games.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you do story for an hour, then you just grind for 2 or 3 hours just to get enough levels to do the next missions.
Yeah, and it's not like a grind you wanna do either. Like it's one you have to do. Like in Black Flag, if you wanna grind for your ship, you can, but you don't have to do it, right? You can get away
Yeah.
with like a shittier ship if you just play properly.
Mm.
Like I think I dove for treasure once when I played Black Flag, like literally once.
Not if you wanted those big ass ships, like the ghost ships, like in the corners. Then,
See, I don't even
a little
remember
ship
any of
didn't
that.
make it.
I just wish that they took what Black Flag was and made Skull and Bones off of that and not there. Like, it could have been a great game, Skull and Bones.
Could have been, yeah.
Like me and
But
AK
it
played
was-
it a bunch when it first came out, right? We got suckered into playing it on release. It was fun until you got to late game and then realized there's nothing else.
Skull and Bones is like they didn't know what they were doing from the beginning. Like they had no real direction. They just kept changing what they want to do with it.
Yeah, they should have just made Black Flag. The fucking you had a great fucking sailing game. Why not just use that?
Because they can't sell enough microtransactions in it.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's all about the profit for Ubisoft. That's why they're broke now.
Yeah, sucks to be them.
Yeah. Yeah, like the new Assassin's Creed's actually. What's the new one?
Yeah, I know which one you
Shadows.
mean.
Yeah, it's just so stuck with DLC. It's like the first thing you see when you log in is like DLC. Buy the other games, more DLC. Buy the like Assassin's
Shadows?
Plus,
Is it
you can buy
Shadows?
More DLC.
Yeah, it's Shadows.
Yeah, Shadows. When I bought my my 4070 Ti, it came with Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah.
That game is so bad, bro. I got it for free and I still feel ripped off.
Did you play it?
Of course of course I was gonna try it. I got it for free. That's like great content, bro. Right?
Yeah.
Like I've only seen it been played.
It's
on Twitch,
really
but
bad.
It looks kind of strange when she is like stealthing around and then she goes up and she like slaps a guy with a helmet. And he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
falls
yeah. The guy's like instantly KO. It's really bad.
It's like, okay, she should have broken her hand, but instead the guy has pretty rude. Yeah, I know it's stormtroopers. So it's like they're Lego pieces, but still.
It's just to bring Black Flag up again. Remember when in Black Flag when you would run into like a grass field and then crouch, the guys would still know where you are because they saw you crouch in the damn grass field. If you do that in Outlaws, they instantly lose track of you. So it's like it's worse than a 20-year-old game by now. How old is Black Flag?
I would say so,
2013. So it's 13 years ago. They did a better stealth system than they could in 2025.
Ooh, a recipe from the chest. Racer stamina. That's actually pretty good.
It's your roll for that.
And like if it's one of the recipes you need to level up, it could be worth quite a bit.
Too far away.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like the Viking game had the same problem. Like it was fine, but it was just too long.
Yeah.
Like the tutorial took like 6 hours for crying out loud. If you wanted to do a bunch at least. You can get through it in like an hour, but
Where like they see like they want you to play longer because they think like the longer you play, the more likely you are to buy DLC.
yeah. Yeah. Or boosts.
Yeah, boost. That's the stupid thing. It's a single player game and they put in level systems
Yep.
and then they gate the story missions behind them. Then you can buy XP boosts to get
My
to the story
God.
content faster. Yeah, it's so stupid.
It's extremely anti-consumer. Like once again, which is why they're broke now, right? Like So it's like
Each time they do it, they lose a few more customers, and they can't get any more because
it's sad. It's sad to see them go, in the sense that they have a lot of IPs that are actually worth something, but
Yeah,
they
like
made them
Assassin's
worthless, right?
Assassin's Creed, if they just go back to the old ways, like if they go like the Baldur's Gate route or something, like real RPG assassins.
Oh, bro, they'd have a hit on their hands
good story,
immediately.
yeah, they could make such a good game, but no.
But the problem
Then
with
again, they probably actually make less money than just make a shitty game with a bunch of DLC.
yeah, more money.
Yeah, like these phone games, like they cost nothing to make and they just make billions.
Yeah, Diablo Immortal, anyone?
Yeah.
Don't you
Yeah.
guys have phones?
Yeah, and then you see these streamers that go like, "This game is so bad, I had to spend $100,000 just to get this item."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bitch, you're the problem. To be fair, they probably make way more than $100,000 off of that shit, right? It's like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah, they need to spend money to get content. Or to make
yeah.
content.
It's an advertising scam, basically. Not gonna lie though, I'd sell my morals out for $1 million easily, right?
I mean,
Oh, this game is great, guys. Yeah, yeah. Disclaimer: I'm getting paid.
it's the worst that can happen, right? Oh no, the internet doesn't like me anymore.
Yeah.
Boo.
Good thing all my Benjamins like me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple of Ubisoft franchises that I'm actually a huge fan of. Like Anno is like one of the all-time greatest management games ever made. So I'm like really sad that they're under the Ubisoft umbrella.
Yeah, I've seen there's a new one, like the Roman one.
Yeah, the Paxo, yeah.
Do you have any innovate?
I was interested in it, but like I didn't have the time.
No, it's not
It's,
cooldown.
it's
Oh, wait.
definitely like a 10-hour game and then you've done nothing, right? It's pretty time intensive. But I'm a huge fan of more cerebral games, and Anno definitely scratches that itch. Scratches both my OCD
No,
itch
I
and my
also
management
like,
itch.
Yeah, I also like strategy games, but I like strategy games with good stories as well.
Mm.
That's why I really like.
Hard to find these days.
No, but like Nintendo has the good ones. Nintendo is also doing strange things, but
Oh, yeah.
they have some really good IPs, like Fire Emblem, which is one of my absolute favorite IPs.
Lindsay will really like you, I think. I've never been a Nintendo guy. I was always Sega back in the day, so I've most of that stuff passed me by, sadly. Like even
so
Zelda, I
that's-
played a bunch of Zelda, but it's not like I'm not like, oh my god, Zelda. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's alright.
Yeah. No, but Fire Emblem is like a turn-based strategy RPG with really good characters, like very strong character focus.
You ever
And
play
that's gonna
Front?
be a new game.
You ever play Front Mission?
Front Mission? No, is that like XCOM clone?
No. It's a strategy RPG, with mechas.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of them. Front Mission 3 was on the PlayStation, I believe, and Front Mission 1 and 2, I don't even remember where they were on. But they've been remaking them on PC recently. Front Mission 1 and 2 is out for a while now, and Front Mission 3 just came out. But considering you were talking about strategic RPGs, right?
Yeah. No, I haven't played that. Maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's on Steam right now. They're mechas, but they're called Wanzers. Don't ask, I don't know. But the cool thing is, especially, you can definitely do it in Front Mission 3. At a certain point in the story, you get to choose which faction you play for. And I love that. Like, you could play the quote-unquote bad guys. They're not really the bad guys because it's more nuanced than that. It's like a political.
No, this is gonna be fun.
It's like they can both have the capability to be good or bad, so it doesn't really matter in that sense. Hello, love bug.
Pull back, pull back.
Yeah.
How about Disgaea? Surely you've played Disgaea.
Nope.
Oh
Not
my
this
god.
guy either.
There's like 8 of those. They're actually really good as well. If you like strategy RPGs. They're a little freaky. They're very it's like
well,
satire, you know?
You gotta have time to play him as well, because now I've got
Oh, yeah,
spent so
yeah.
much time now in here in TBC, and then.
Oh
like
yeah,
Mondays-
don't play it now. You'll never have the time.
Like Mondays, I have a group that we play Hearts of Iron.
Well,
8 people
exploring
that plays
YouTube,
Hearts
you
of Iron,
find the
all
weirdest
nights every
shit.
Monday,
Welcome.
And then D&D groups on Wednesdays, except the DM is sick today, so.
I was never into the D&D. I could never get into. I'm not a good role player. Sucks.
Now it all depends on the group. If you have a group that like you can have fun with and a good DM.
I'm a huge fan of the system though. Like I love Baldur's Gate, and I don't mean 3. I mean like the original 1 and 2. The old shit. Neverwinter Nights, Icewind Dale, all the goldies, golden oldies.
I'll just wait for the patron to return.
Go for the eyes, boo! The eyes!
No, he's in Baldur's Gate 3 as well, but you get him very late in the story. though.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But I still prefer 1
Oh,
and
yeah,
2 because it's like just nostalgia, you know?
Yeah. No, Baldur's Gate 3 is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like from an RPG element, it's like they couldn't have done it better. It's so.
The
freaking good.
Belgians knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, like they thought of everything. It seems like you steal something from one NPC and you try to give it to another one, and then you go back to the first one. He'll talk about how that he thinks that other NPC stole his stuff because he's seen it with him. It's like,
Time to start whistling and walking off. Oh, that's weird. Oh my god.
yeah, it's like I lost my thing and now I seen Steven. He has the exact one. I think he stole it. It's like, damn. Like they actually managed to make a system that like can cover all these different things the players can do.
I did enjoy in Act 1 when you opened the wrong barn. And then there's
Yeah.
2 orcs fucking. What the fuck did I just walk into? I talked my way out of that somehow.
Yeah, isn't one of the options like, oh, nice, can I join you?
Yeah, yeah. I think it is, yeah. I don't think we picked that option.
It's really a first for me, and I've been here a lot, so I don't know why you guys are pulling this all the way back.
Well, he can knock you out, stand behind him, and people always do.
I never had a problem here.
The
Okay,
dragon on the
then.
platform?
Yeah.
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 Blitz drags him to the wall as well.
It's really the first time I see this.
Because on heroic it does knockback, right? So it knocks you off the platform.
No, he does it on normal as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
but
terrible
normally
knockback though. If you're in the middle of the
standing
platform,
around.
you're fine.
Yeah, it's a small one, but in the heroic one, it'll fling you off.
Yeah, that's why. I'm used to doing this on heroic, I
I'm
guess.
usually at the entrance of the platform, and then when I get knocked back, I'm standing back onto the pipes. And
Yeah, that doesn't really work for me.
yeah, but you would be tanking in the middle of the platform, so that will work.
Yeah. I'll try that next time.
Like, there's a new Fire Emblem game that's gonna release hopefully this year.
You still got this quest,
Super
man?
hyped for.
No, I still have to do them.
Ah, you still have to take them. Okay.
I wouldn't mind playing a Fire Emblem, I just don't have a Nintendo. Actually, I do, I've got a Switch. But I don't think that has Fire Emblem games, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
The original one, not the 2. I don't have a
really
2.
There's 2 Fire Emblem games to the Switch. There's Engage and Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like Fire Emblem Three Houses has like extremely good story and some pretty decent maps. Engage has terrible story, but some of the best maps they've ever made.
PJ, Fire Emblem Three Houses is one of Noah's favorite ones. He actually played that for the story, and you know how much Noah cares about story.
Yeah.
So that's saying something.
There's like 3 different stories. Like the first half of the game, or the first act, there's 2 acts. So like the first act, you pick a house. There's 3 houses. And then the second act is completely different depending on which house you picked.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Replayability.
Yeah. And which characters you get to play with is also depending on which house you go to. And you kind of like have to kill the characters from the other houses.
Okay, that sounds... I'm not gonna lie, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like an officer's academy, and there's like 3 nations. And then in the second act, there's like all...
So is it kind of like Valkyrie Chronicles?
Yeah, kinda.
The one on the PSP, I should say, right? Specifically.
Yeah, kinda. It's like, yeah, the first act is you attend the officer academy, you pick a house from one of the nations, and then there's a big time skip, and then like war has broken out, and then you have to fight the other nations that you didn't pick.
So Fire Emblem Three Houses. Put it on the list.
But you can still recruit characters from the other houses if you get enough rep with them, and then they'll actually join you in the second half.
Oh my god, it's $60. Jesus fucking Christ, Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo is... They never have any sales. It's like, yeah, it's a 10-year-old game, pay full price.
Yeah, right.
Sounds about Nintendo.
It's very Japanese.
Mhm.
In general. Like, Capcom does that too, dude. Or, who makes the... That's Capcom as well, right? The Dynasty Warrior games?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
They also never go on sale. It's ridiculous. Never is saying much, but... Like once a year? That's only on Switch, right? The Three Houses?
Yeah, it's only on the Switch. Like all the Fire Emblem games are the Nintendo exclusives. It's all on the handhelds as well. No, I think there was 2 games on the GameCube actually. Oh yeah, the ones with Ike, they are on the GameCube.
See, I know that character because of Smash Brothers.
Yeah, kind of strange with characters they put on there. Like they put on the new main characters, but like Ike, it's kind of like an odd character put in there. The same with Roy. It's like there are other characters that have way bigger presences and are more well known. It's like instead of the Metal Gear Solid, instead of putting in Snake, they put in Ocelot.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Although, I gotta say, Ocelot's probably my favorite character of the series.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sad if that happens.
No, it's like, it's fine if they put him in, but like, if they put him in and not Snake, that'd be weird.
Yeah. I think Ocelot's hilarious in every iteration. Man uses a 6-shooter. Reloading in combat is so exhilarating. It's hilarious.
I'm out of range.
Yeah, I'm doing terrible DPS. I really need to see the corruption.
Don't worry, at least you're not a paladin.
Like on bosses, you do fine because yeah, I'm Affliction Warlock. As long as I can let my my dots ramp, I do good DPS.
I'm a red repella and my DPS still sucks.
Hey,
Oh shit.
what's happening, guys?
Oh, guy from behind.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I usually kill him first. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep you all up. Nope. Yes. Shaman would have been dead as well normally, so. Yep. What's happening, guys?
You got plus Soulstone.
Nope.
Oh.
What about the plan?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just wipe.
I was able to keep you up, just. You had some DPS.
Yeah, this guy is pretty dangerous. Probably hardest boss in there, even on heroic. And me not being stupid, not picking up soulstones.
Yeah, well, but people pumping the boss before I get a hit in, so that also doesn't.
Yeah, they got clapped.
Yeah.
A shaman and a rogue got clapped.
Stop missing the
Nice.
opening hits then.
I wasn't even at the
Well,
boss yet.
Okay.
So,
Somehow it's probably still your fault.
yeah, can doubt that.
By the time I was able to see that they took damage, I clicked my heal and they got the second slap. It was too late.
Yeah. No, one second, gotta mute me, girlfriend zone.
GF aggro. Oh, come on.
I'm out of range.
No seconds. And I need rebuff. Yes. Sorry.
I'm out of range.
Much better.
The eel is floating. Interesting. In the air, not the water, I mean. Like, context.
Very, very slight upgrade.
Excuse me.
Too far away.
It's the last one for me.
Too far away. I need to get closer.
No takers.
Too far away.
Did you reset?
He's muted.
He ran in, so I guess he muted. Ah, he reset it, yeah.
out of range.
Back. Sorry about that.
I need to get closer.
Hmm. What the fuck?
Innervate would be nice.
Yeah. I saw.
Cool.
How does this boss work?
He pops mushrooms, and you stay out of the way of the mushrooms because eventually the mushrooms will give those poison clouds. And if you stand in the poison clouds, then you get damaged, like the mage did.
Yeah, but I mean, at a certain point, he just starts healing or something.
Yeah, that's something with the mushrooms. I don't know. Yeah, I think you have to pull them out of the poison cloud because it starts healing in the poison clouds.
Yeah, I'm jumping off Discord. See ya.
You see you later.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Greetings, traveler.
The hell?
Mm-hmm.
I can't find this dude. The icon on the map does not correspond with where he's actually is, apparently. Hmm. Is there a third floor? Hmm. I wonder if they can die.
The NPC?
Yeah.
Probably, but
Like, I see the exclamation mark on my map, but then when I go there, nothing. There's nobody here.
probably an escort quest and somebody's doing it.
Maybe? Whatever, I'm going to the bathroom.
Ja, dus wat sta je? Sta je gewoon in het midden staan?
Ah ja, ik was al een hele tijd muted zeker. Geweldig. Ja, zo dus, gelijk als dat je het gedaan hebt, dat was het.
Oké.
Dat was ik dus aan het zeggen. Ik dacht dat je mij gehoord had eigenlijk.
Ah, oké. Ah, nee. Gast, jongen. Ah. Zo mis, dodge.
Ja.
Tegen al hun thread.
Ja, die andere mop zit vast in een trap. Is het dan erg als je zo... Gelijk als mij nu level 68 zet, dat die mobs mij wel keihard kunnen raken. Waarom hebben die dan geen misses?
Ja.
En resists.
Nou, dat is.
Je suis parti. Ik heb juist 4 woord gegeven, daaraan zie je dat 4 woord die dus niet werkt.
Oké, dus niet sheepen dan.
Immune, ongetwijfeld. Because a pulse fire would be way too easy if you could sheep it.
Vet.
Ja, maar met en ik ga wel eerlijk zijn, ik ben half in het slaap aan het vallen.
Nou,
Ik
is
denk
goed,
dat ik
maar...
in de zetel ga zitten en iets gaan opzetten en...
Ça va, ça va. Ik moet ook repairen en pissen en zo, dus het is goed geweest.
Ja, ik ben echt... ik is zo al een halve ronde dat ik hier zo zit.
Ja. No
Alles
worries.
aan het healen. Chance dat dat niet fout gegaan is.
Oh, ça va. Geen stress. Ça
Ik
va,
zou
maar
eigenlijk niet naar town moeten, ik zou naar een Priestmaster moeten repareren of mending. Dat zal voor straks of voor morgen worden. Ik ga mij nu in de zetel zetten, hopelijk gaat mijn diepje voorbij. Ja, ik heb gegeten hè. Gegeten toen we begonnen zijn en dan...
ja. Ken dat. Ken dat. Dat is goed, man.
Ik ga mij nu een keer afwijzen.
Ça va. Misschien dat ik nog online ben en dan is tot de volgende.
Ja.
Goed.
Joeps.
Jo. Jawel. Moet dat?
Shit, I died.
Ja. Kat, wat is het met u? Ja, komt dat bij mij zitten? Jesus fucking Christ.
I know the feeling. Komt zo vlak naast u staan. Miauw.
Ja.
Ik er dan ook bij, doe me kut.
Echt. Echt, hè. En dan komt ze bij mij zitten en dan is ze binnen de 2 seconden weg en dan aan die deur gaan dabben, want oh nee, die deur is toe. Dus kot te klein, laat ik ze buiten, 2 seconden later is ze terug aan die deur. Die fucking deur is terug toe.
Mine sits underneath my desk. I have like a place where I put my feet. She always sits in the exact fucking place.
Normally, mine just sits behind me. She has like this huge sofa where she can just chill. But some days, she just wants to fuck with my head. Today is such a day.
Yeah, I have my racing seat behind me. But she only uses that like 80% of the time. The other 20% it's annoy PJ.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, this guy is like not here. Oh, found him.
Yeah. Ah, there you go.
Ah, he's looking in the wrong fucking... It was green, that's why I didn't think it was this guy. I'm still thinking about maybe boosting another character.
But which one?
That's the problem, isn't it? I'm still on the same Arms Warrior, SLSL Warlock, Enter, BM.
Yeah.
That's
For
the
me,
thing,
that's
though.
an
I'm not sure I want to do BM because that's like quite a bit intensive, right? It's like you gotta use those buttons and stuff.
It's quite easy, to be honest. You just have to 1 second. You just have to get the Ravager pet, who has two skills that he just constantly spams, and that's it.
Okay.
So that's not really an issue.
I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target.
Auto clicker comes in handy sometimes.
I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target.
I always set one of my buttons on the mouse up to spam, like mouse click.
I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target.
I just turn it on or hold it down in this case. This one's a deadman switch, not a toggle. And it just spams mouse click. Click, 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 click.
I can't attack that. I can't attack that target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I need a target.
There is a horde standing here waiting for a mob, like a boss mob or one of the things we need for a quest.
Yeah.
And I show up and stand next to him. This is why I was like talking about the auto clicker. And then 3 more alliance showed up and we were all grouped up and the horde just left. Like, he was like, I'm not winning this, I'm leaving. Pretty funny. Like right after he jumped down, the mob spawned as well. But I was spamming my button, so I instantly got it.
People are
Good.
selling portals to Shattered for 3 gold.
3 gold, Jesus.
3 gold.
I'm cheap on my 1 gold then. The hell?
I'm paying for 3 gold for that. I'll just fly and take a piss break. How about that?
How about that? Cash me outside, how about that? What did them do?
7 silver.
She got pretty rich off of that too.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Be right back. Piss break.
Us humans love dumb people.
Too far away. of range. I can't cast that.
Excuse me.
Too far away.
You feeling that itch yet, Joey? Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. Right. Where are you questing?
Terracar.
Decent?
Well, I'm 2 levels out level, so I don't know. Maybe?
No, as in, can you quest? Is it not overcrowded?
Oh, it's fucking busy as fuck.
Oh.
It's Alliance and Horde, right? It's like everyone's here. Yeah, it's pretty busy. But I'm not gonna do any dungeons today.
No, I get it.
It's like I can't risk having to go to the bathroom in the middle of the dungeon. I mean, I'm playing Paladin. Technically, I could risk it, but I don't want to.
Put your ass on follow and just...
Yeah, that'd be just as useful.
Yeah.
No, I'm just doing quests and then handing them in. There a new LVUI yet? Because this one's busted,
Yeah.
bro. No, I still have it. Pretty sure I still have got this.
I had an update today, so.
Oh yeah, there is an update. Okay. This fucking LVUI shit. Like the green bar on the experience is fucked. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quests and it's telling me I have no quests. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like the green bar on the experience, which normally tells you like, oh, you have this amount of experience banked in your quest log if you go hand it in, right? That part. This is completely broken for me.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had 12 quests to hand in and it said I had 10k in quest log. Like, fuck off, dude. I have like at least 100k in here. It's like you're only wrong by a factor of 10. I do get that it's very first world problems, but still.
What are we rolling with here? Druid. Hunter, Mage, Warlock, Druid. Okay.
There we go. That's better.
If I would boost a character, I would boost my my hunter. Okay, BM hunter is so fun to play. It's so easy, yet it has a really complex rotation. If you want it to be complex, but you can just spam 2 buttons.
Warriors like that too, though, right?
Yeah, but I play a lot of warrior, so.
That's true. But you never play Arms Warrior. Could be fun for a change.
That is true.
Like go for a DPS PvP spec instead of what you normally do.
Live.
What the fuck? Dawson from Dawson's Creek's dead.
What the fuck?
He's like 48. Cancer, of course. What else? Besides drugs, I suppose. When it comes to Hollywood, yeah. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, cancer in this case. You know who I mean, right? The blonde guy?
Yeah.
Blonde brownish. Was he Dutch? James van der Beek.
I don't know.
That sounds very Dutch to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I miss in this MMO?
What?
Chocobo racing.
Fair enough.
We've got the mounts. Just give us a race like the Chocobo racing, man. It was great. I loved it in Final Fantasy 14. It was great.
My goods are of the highest quality.
It'd be more great if more people played it, but you know, still fun.
Yeah. To be fair, I never played it either.
I played it a lot.
I don't know.
It's Mario Kart with Chocobos, man. Come on.
Sure.
Light to victory.
Hey there. See you around. For the Alliance.
Tonight, a story you'll see only on 7. Parents are outraged after a youth basketball player stomped another boy in the head. Happened in Alameda on Sunday during a game, and it was all caught on video. ABC 7 News reporter J.R. Stone has talked with families on both sides.
So there's a clip from a local news story from back in July of 2024 that is going viral again on X because people typically like to recycle old clips over there in order to get more engagement. And in this particular clip, we see an absolutely disgusting display that occurred in a game between 13-year-olds. One team was a representative of Filipino basketball players in the United States of America, and the other one appears to be an Alameda County team, which is the county that happens to contain the city of Oakland. And as you can see right there from the freeze frame from the local news, you have a black player on one of the teams head stomping one of the Filipino players after a loose ball situation. But one of the things that people are so aggravated about while listening to this news segment is the fact that the news is constantly framing this as a both sides situation, as an issue where you have to get the perspective from not just the person who was stomped in a completely non-basketball move, something that was wildly inappropriate, but from the side of the stomper and how that kid is being bullied, and how of course we need to get their side of the story, even though again you could see the video for yourself. And in addition to that, I actually ended up finding the original videos from multiple different angles without all the blurring that kind of obscures everything that's going on that's being played by the local news. And if it wasn't swaying you just by the blurred version of the clip, make no mistake about it, the actual full—
Warn viewers that the video is a bit intense. This basketball game was about to end.